Martin's Test Shaves. This time I want to show you something I was rather extraordinary actually. This is a Welsh slate and it actually overcame a problem that I suffered only today, which was I tried to rehome on a coticule, the last little coticule rehoning that I did, which I did a video of in case you're interested. I did a very short video on how to do a 1 stone hone with a coticule, Belgian coticule obviously. But this is a Welsh slate. And the story being, I couldn't quite get the hanging hair test right on my last little razor, which is, let me show you, this little beast. Now this is the famous, very famous, CV Heljestrand No32, Sweden. And this is the famous number 32 with the beautiful little Swedish crowns on. Anyway, I had worked on this previously and I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. So I put it back twice onto the white pure Belgian coticule and it still wouldn't work. So I've used this. This is an inferior in quality, but very good quality as far as I'm concerned, slate, and a fraction of the price. So all I'm saying is this one rested on a sink and the usual correct motions. You can bring up a very nice primary edge. Then when you stop it, preferably with a little bit of perhaps Thiers white paste, which I freely admit I did use, it's actually now got a good edge. It now will cut the hanging hair test both ends. So anyway, I'm going to shut up and just say I've got a couple of other little Heljestrand jobs, very small ones to try. So this is the famous number 32, but I couldn't get it right. I simply couldn't seem to get a happy edge on it. It passed all the tests, bar the main test, which is the hanging hair test. So I'll shut up and get on. Today we're going to use the Cajun blades. This is the Bayou Malay, and that is almost as strong a scent as his famous honeysuckle. So this is very, very, very nice. So let me just quickly gather up a lather. And this time I'm not going to mess around with badger brushes. Back to the usual. And if I can get a quick lather up, we'll just prove how good an edge on the little Heljestrand number 32. Now, I've got to say, today the weather has been appalling. It's actually been sleet, snow and an extremely biting north wind. So I haven't been out. Instead I've been doing up razors, which needed to be checked over, mostly because I'm seriously hunting for any address, preferably Northern Ireland, Belfast, so I can return the favour to my very good friend Mr. Fox, because Anthony found me my wonderful number 18, which is of course the big Puma, which I've been after for ages. What a wonderful friend. That's what straight shaving groups are all about, surely. Anyway, that's good enough for me. That's pretty good. Yeah, I do. So we've got 1 day, I know, 2 days stubble. I don't care. Dry fingers, the golden rule. And we're going to try first of all, because I've got several to show you. We'll try first of all the little Heljestrand, the number 32. This is the one which has come off a Welsh slate. So this will be interesting. Yeah, no problem. The old rule for me, the old rule always applies. If it cuts the hair cleanly, both into the scales of the hair and away from the scales, then you've got a good edge. That was me chewing the moustache accidentally. Yeah. Reputation. Deserved reputation on Swedish steel. Almost any of the great names in Sweden, mostly around Heljestrand, which is their equivalent of Sheffield. No, I'm using right hand only, which is easy because I'm right-handed. Yep. First pass finishing. Lovely. Yeah, that's my dominant hand, of course. That's it, first pass done. Right, for a second pass, we're not going to use the number 32. We're not going to use the little Heljestrand number 32, which is one of the most prized possessions of anybody that's into straight razors. They have a renowned and deserved reputation. However, putting that one down, here's a treat, which I also dug up. I think I'd mislaid is the correct term, because I've got quite a few razors that still need fine tuning. This one is a Puma. This is an early Puma. The reason it's early is the address. You can see straight away that it's a number 21, and it's got the boxed in address, which has got like a 45 degree or 30 degree canted address box. And on the other side, which is always the most important part, it says Latterjung and Soon. Now, Latterjung and Soon were one of the very first to have used the Puma emblem. So you know it's an early razor. And the earlier the razor, the better the steel, sad to say. But that's a fact. Anyway, let's have a look at this little fellow. It's 5/8. Will it shave properly? Yeah. Yeah, straight away. Even though this is a second pass. Oh, crisp. Yeah, beautiful. So, for those who don't yet possess a Puma, I always recommend double hammered steel. Very strange. They've always said that. Yep. Anyway, my next shave I'm going to use my usual both left and right hand. But the right hand's easy. I prefer. So this little razor is definitely a keeper. Latterjung and Soon. And it's got the beautiful little motif of a puma. If I can, don't know if this will focus. Probably won't. There's the little puma head set in a triangle, or rather set in a lozenge. And yeah, that's the sign of it being an early Puma. But early or late, Pumas are exceptionally good razors, exceptionally good steel. They're not that expensive. I mean, I just find that a lot of people have overlooked Puma. I had. And some of our great, and I do mean great, exponents of shaving and hairdressing have actually never tried one. So for those who haven't, get yourselves a Puma, chaps. That's a number 22, it's a number 21 Puma. So we've had number 21, which is very, very fine steel, and this rather strange Heljestrand number 32. You can always tell a number 32. They've got the rather attractive notch underneath, which I've always found quite interesting. Both very nice quality. So I'll review a few more Heljestrand razors in the future, but I think that'll probably do for now. As I said, it's been bitterly cold. I haven't been able to do any slinging. I don't like slinging in the snow. If it was no wind, I would, but it's been windy. So again, congratulations to Eric. Very wonderful, very aromatic soap. That one is the Cajun Blades Bayou Malay. Highly recommend it. If you get your hands on any of Eric's soaps, do so. They are extraordinary. However, as I'm always saying, I'm not a soap expert. So it's 10 minutes 21 seconds. That's a 2-pass shave. A load of old guff from me. 2 razors shown. I think that'll probably do. Yep, that will do. That is perfectly adequate. Not a perfect shave, but it'll do. And I'm going to splash this time. Yeah, let's go with a Mad Bird again. The famous Mad Bird, which I think is rather attractive in an odd sort of way. Let's put a bit of this splash on. We'll call it done. Yeah, that's the Ariana and Evans. And it's a very unique and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful smell. It doesn't clash with anything either, so don't be afraid to use that one. I will use another time, because I have got it, the Kazan soap, which of course that goes with. But for now, I think that's enough. Anyway, eternally grateful for anybody that's bothering to watch. Just to say, you don't need to spend a fortune on stones. I mean, I've just done another 1 stone hone on this little Welsh slate. It was only a top up. It wasn't it had no faults on the blade. It had no faults on the edge. So that would do it. A slate is perfectly good if you haven't got any big nicks to remove. Anyway, chaps, 12 minutes, that's enough of me. Martin's Shave Test. Over and out.